Going everyone, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Happy Sunday wherever you are around the world. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. But what's really happening with the market as we are obviously going into Monday morning. Obviously, we're far away from Monday morning. It is almost the end of the day for Sunday. We still have a few hours to go, but majority of the day is over. But now we're really going to take a look at how the market is really reacting. A lot to discuss. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you're looking at the price of XRP at $2.09, it's actually at $2.10 right now. It's a little behind on CoinGecko, but we're down about 0.5% in Bitcoin. Comparative valuation back above 121 billion, approaching 122 billion dollars, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 1.5 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer for you guys. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So are you bullish on crypto? If you're not, let's take a look at this. 1 in 3 of South Korea's wealthy now hold crypto. The wealthy expecting growth in virtual assets means that field is maturing. Remember, mass adoption, and we are heading towards mass adoption. It is going mainstream, and I can argue it is already mainstream. And after you do see multiple different other digital assets that do get that approval on the ETF, then I think we are pretty much at the mainstream level. Of course, if you compare it to the likes of the stock market, we're literally small, very small, but that's where the excitement really kicks in. But moving forward, you could see $10 trillion Charles Schwab plans to launch a spot crypto trading in the next 12 months, says the CEO. If you don't know what Charles Schwab is, it is a financial services company. And here we have it. You're starting to see all of this occurring, and I think you're going to see other financial services, companies, across, not just within the U.S., but also maybe Canada. Canada's having an election, as we know, and then with that being said, maybe they have more clarity coming towards the digital asset field as well, and of course globally as well. But this really gives you an understanding which direction we're really going in. Things we used to talk about a few months ago, under the Trump administration, how is crypto really going to be treated? We're really seeing things really happening, the things we used to discuss. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but that's not the most exciting thing. Look at this, guys. Top 10 performing assets since 2023. So obviously they're color coded. Obviously this chart might be a little hard to read, but they're color coded. So purple is XRP, obviously on Bitstamp, BTC is orange, ETH, Sol, whatever the case is. You guys can see this for yourself. And the ones that have been just going crazy, look how good XRP is holding, guys. It is the top performing, in my opinion. You can see this for yourself. The way XRP has held, and it is a top performer if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, or BTC, sorry, is I think a little bit higher than XRP, but XRP is just the second behind that. So it really shows you people tend to forget that the price of XRP has gone up quite substantially, and it just happened in the past few months, even though we're looking at the last 2 years, but it just happened over the last a few months for XRP to get to the levels it has, and that is really exciting to see, of course. And a lot of people forget that, but you don't want to be forgetting that when you are analyzing the price of XRP. Moving forward, XRP net flows have flattened out, hovering right over the battle line. Volume will kick the price into gear. And look at this, this is quite interesting. I kind of wanted to share this with you guys, and then we'll kind of talk about the price. Look, Bitstamp plus Robinhood are wiring a full-scale crypto derivatives exchange straight onto the XRPL Ledger. Global crypto derivatives already clear of $4.8 trillion a month. That's 70% of all digital assets volume. Snagging just 1% of the flow equals 1 to 2 billion in trades every day, funneled through XRPL in seconds. Every contract settles on chain, burning XRP's dust, deepening liquidity, and opening 24/7 leverage to 15 million plus Robinhood users. The traditional derivatives arena may be 700 trillion, but even this small crypto slice can 10 to 20x XRPL activity overnight and mint a new revenue engine for both platforms. Watch the launch window. This could be the moment XRPL steps onto the Wall Street main stage. And again, this is one of the very, many examples of, what could end up happening for the XRPL Ledger. And, the people that are already, digging into the XRPL ledger, I think are, the pioneers as of now. But let's take a look at, what's happening with the prices. As far as dominance goes, we went down to 63.6% yesterday. It's skyrocketing right now, booming. Why is that the case? Because BTC has broken out, guys. Yes, we've heard that correct. Bitcoin has finally seen that breakout above $86,000, and we actually closed the daily candle. Actually, we're going to close the daily candle above this 86K range. I've been talking to you guys so much about this 86K range, and we have broken out, which is very nice to see. Of course, the weekend thing needs to still be in perspective. Obviously, a lot of people tend to forget that. We're still in a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual, as CME futures are closed. But what a nice, beautiful move here. Do insiders know something, or is it just, manipulation happening? Well, we have broken out, and we're retesting some of the levels we haven't seen since the beginning of this month. So far, so good. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we remain above 86K. But if you're looking at XRP back into the 38.2, yes, we were hovering below that just briefly, but it has broken out back above, and we're retesting $2.12, some of the levels we haven't seen over the last 4 days. And if this is able to break out, I do personally believe XRP could reclaim back up to this range at the $2.20 range, which of course would be amazing to see. But one step at a time. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in crypto. CX and peace out.